Welcome to day 2 of the registration process. Your advisor should have handed you out your packet. Make sure you have the correct packet with your name on it. Once you have received your packet, basically I'm just going to kind of overview what we are doing today. Today is going to be our last advisory session within the registration process. Today you are going to select your electives, and then we are going to transfer all 8 classes on to this form. This will be the form that you bring with you to the library when you meet with your counselor. That will occur during the first 2 weeks of February. We will be calling you in. We will already have this packet. We will sit down and go over it with you and put those selections into the computers, kind of similar to what we did last year. So today, like I said, you've already selected your core, and today you'll be doing your electives. So go ahead and flip to this page. It should be the second or the third page of your packet. Go ahead and find that. Let's go ahead and put our name. Again, this needs to be our legal name, our name that appears on our report card, our academy. And for those of you who are 9th graders this year, you chose this last session, so make sure you put your correct academy and your pathway. Again, you chose this last session.
Alright, seniors, we're going to go ahead and make your elective options today. So we're going to go over your elective sheet. You're going to be choosing 5 electives, so keep that in mind as we go over this sheet. And what I want you to do is circle the 2 that you really want to have, and or you can put a star. You can do whatever works for you. But then I want you to make note of 3 additional classes that you wouldn't mind having as an alternate if you couldn't get your first choices, because we are going to ask you to do that as well. Alright, let's just start at the top. We have fine arts, and since this is your 3rd year in high school, this is your 3rd year in high school, you probably already know what it means to have a fine arts class. Remember, you have to have a fine arts credit in order to graduate. So if you've never taken a fine arts class, and that would be any of these classes mentioned, then you need to do that in your senior year, or else you will not graduate. So we have art. You must have Art 1 before you can take any of the upper level classes, as it says on the form. Again, chorus, you will need an audition. Piano, you'll need an audition. Well, for the advanced piano, you'll need an audition. You can still sign up to take Piano 1 if you haven't already taken piano yet. Intro to Cinema Studies is an option. It meets your fine arts requirement. Guitar, you can, like I said, take Guitar 1, or if you've already taken that, audition to get into the advanced level class. And we're having you sign up for level 4 because you will be a senior next year. Theater arts, you have these options. Theater arts is going to require less after-school activity, and drama, acting, musical theater will require quite a bit of time after school, and you also must audition. Alright, you have all of your band options here. You'll notice that they're level 4s, and it is noted which classes you have to audition for. Alright, you've got some options in English and Social Studies. If you've started in AVID and have been taking AVID, you can continue in AVID if you would like to. You've got newspaper, yearbook. You can read all the options, but there are several different options, including the dual enrollment Tennessee history and modern history. You've got the AP options if you haven't taken those classes yet. I'm going to move on to the science electives. You have a few AP options here as well, so Biology 2 and the environmental science. You want to look at these other options, as you may want to take an additional science class. Alright, so we have the world's language options, and once again, this is required for graduation. If you haven't taken 2 years of the same world language, you are going to have to take that in your senior year. So your options are Spanish, Spanish Heritage. If you speak Spanish as your native language, we have the AP Spanish class, and we also have Latin as an option. It's highly recommended that you take 3 years of a foreign language. just because it really sets you apart as a senior applying to colleges. So that might be something that you really want to take into consideration, even if you already have 2 credits of a world language. All right, we have PE wellness options over here, and as it's noted, you do have to take one of each for graduation. That is 1 wellness credit and 1 PE credit. So these are your options: wellness, lifetime activities and outdoor education, and then weight training. And you must choose whether you want to be, well, not whether you want to be in the class, but if you are a boy, you can choose the boys. If you're a girl, you can choose girls' weight training. Or if you're an athlete and you want a more advanced weight training class, you can choose athlete. And that is where both boys and girls are together, but like I said, it's a more advanced class. So if you just want to do it for fun, you might not want to choose that option. As Ms. Logan mentioned, there is a service requirement, and there are 3 options. You can take more than 1 of these classes. We want to encourage those of you who are definitely heading towards college to take the senior capstone class, because it's a really good class to help you prepare for college. It would be good for your resume, and it's just going to help you as you lead into college. The other options are helping students either in the special education class or other students that need help in the classroom, and then service learning. So kind of a variety, but you might be helping the offices run smoothly. Our last box here is for dual enrollment. You see that we have these that are offered here during the day: the minor history and the Tennessee history. You would take that fall and spring, and then there are online options. If you feel like you are ready to take that jump and that you're really independent, you could sign up for one of these options as well. Go ahead and make sure that you make your selections. You're choosing the 2 classes that you really want to take or need to take, and then you're going to be selecting 3 classes that you wouldn't mind having if you couldn't get your first choices. All right, seniors, we're going to go ahead and work on this form now. This is the registration form that you're going to be using and actually bringing home. So you will be filling out the top part. Let's go ahead and put your name, your academy, and your pathway. But we're going to be going from the form that we went over in the first session. This, where you chose your pathway class as well as your core classes, and you're going to be transferring the information from this form to this form. So it's all going to go right here. We're going to give you a few minutes to do that now. All right, so you should have this portion filled out now. We're going to go ahead and go to the second half of the page, where we're going to be transferring the elective courses that you just selected on this other form we just went over, and you're going to be putting it on the form, the registration form. So go ahead and start transferring the information. Actually, there's something I want you to think about first. We have some notes over to the side. If you haven't completed a world language, once again, you have to do that. You have to have 2 years of the same world language or foreign language. Write that in here. And also, if you aren't going to be in your 3rd pathway class, if this was your first year in a pathway class, then you're going to take one of these electives for your 3rd pathway class, and your 2nd would have been listed at the top. So go ahead and fill this in with the appropriate information, whether it's a required class like the ones I just mentioned, or just an elective. Transfer that information from the previous sheet. Here at the bottom, is where you're going to put your alternate classes, which I mentioned before. So put them in the order that you like them, order of preference, so that if we can't get this class for you, we're going to try to get this class for you. We're going to do the best we can to do that. So complete this now. I also want to mention that these selections are final. We are going to be going over these individually in the library. You're going to be coming in the second week of February with either your personal finance or your critical thinking class to do this. But we're making selections thoughtfully because this is what's going to stick with you. We can make changes at that time or with parent permission. And also do know that we're going to go to these classes if we can't get your electives, and also that sometimes we have to make it, just do the best that we can to get you in the class that you need. All right, so we're going to be completing this. You're going to be turning this into your advisor today. Then the second week of February, you're going to be meeting with your counselor in the library, and we're going to send you home with a copy. Once you have finished filling in this form, you're going to write it in also on the colored copy. It looks just like this form, it's just in color. So I want you to transfer the information from here to the colored copy, and then we're going to go over that in the library, and that's going to complete your registration process. Thanks so much.